All right, we are live. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again for another Tuesday, for another, I said that so backwards. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of My Lazy Journey. As you know, every weekday, every Tuesday, I try to go live with a different service provider. So, in both business and your home life. So that way I completely mess things up. So, try it again. We'll just pretend I didn't just say that for a few minutes. So, anyway, skip forward if you're watching the replay. We're going to try this again. So every Tuesday, I go live with a different service provider for both your home and business. Well, you can use for either your home or for business. There we go. So without further ado, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to figure out the details. If you want to know the full details where I'm actually articulating this the right way, head over to the YouTube channel, the Lazy Millennial channel. You can see the whole about. I go through the whole spiel without messing it up like I'm doing every live for whatever reason. I'm going to introduce our guest for today, Miss Chanel Evans. So Miss Chanel works with women who have launch-ready offers to create buzzworthy, cash-generating social media strategies. She develops techniques to build a strong foundation during launches, because y'all know we're constantly launching something, y'all. So keep reading. We got to keep going. And provides ongoing support as businesses grow with careful attention to a brand's voice and personality. Super big, super important. Chanel does not run your average social media consulting firm. She partners with organizations to understand overall business goals, upcoming launches, and ways to maximize their online presence. I should know because I've used some of her templates and stuff. Like, she is the truth. She does with strategic planning, monthly coaching, and her social media domination mansion retreat. So we know we got to dive into that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Miss Chanel on here right now. And here we go. Hey,
What's
we
up?
are
What's up?
live. All right. So first things first, the first thing I ask everybody, how did you land in social media? How did you land in this realm?
Honestly, it really happened organically, right? So, years and years, I'm not even going to date myself with the year, but I used to own an online clothing boutique. And 20 some years ago, that's when like social media wasn't obviously social media that we know now. Like that was like when a website was like you was really doing something if you had a website. But what it taught me is like how to niche and how to build an audience and how to like navigate and like, get through Yahoo groups and all of that kind of stuff. Like really like, really building connection and meeting people, right? And being a local champion. And so, during that time, and also like I had a corporate job. I was a director of finance for a large construction based business. And, most of the time, in corporate America, Black women, we're the one of only,
Right.
one of only, of either women or, person of color or Black person. And so I was always roped into diversity and inclusion type opportunities, right? And what I found is that, one, in my role as a finance director, it was really focused on finance and accounting, but it was very broad in that I work with project development and work with marketing. And, a lot of times they want you to kind of just hang out in the cube that you're in, the four
Yeah.
walls. I'm like, hey, like this project over here sounds cool. Like I want to learn more about it. This project over here sounds cool. I want to meet the project development team. I want to meet the marketing team. What also happened though is in my background with diversity and inclusion, a lot of times there was money set aside, contracts set aside for Black and women owned businesses. But we have the credentials on paper, but then when you go and take a look at the website, when you go and take a look at their social media presence, again, even though it was relatively new at the time, it just it didn't give off that share that brilliance, right? um and then last piece of the puzzle is my husband and I have two youth athletic training organizations, one in track and field, one's a nonprofit. I built those organizations single-handed through social media. A lot of times what tends to happen, especially in a local community, people are like, oh, who's doing your social media? Who do you use for this? Who do you do for that? And it was me. So 2.5 years ago, I branched out, merged my accounting, finance, business background, and then decided to go full throttle into my social media marketing firm. Haven't looked back since. It's been an awesome experience. So that was a long answer of how I got started,
No.
but it's actually, when I think back, it was really started with that online shopping boutique.
Listen, but like so many people are like transitioning. Like, I don't know if I should take that lead because I'm in this background, but like you did it. So that, thank you for sharing that portion. So I know social media, this is like a big buzzword. So like social media, people are asking for social media manager. They're like, I need help with social media, but they don't know fully what they need help with. So
Right.
I'm gonna start with you. So what exactly do you help with people with their social media? Because I know there's different components like ads and marketing and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yep. So specifically, what I help women do. I have a few lucky gentlemen to work with me, but for the most part, I work with women. So women
Yeah.
hire me when they have offers that they're ready to launch, coaching programs, podcasts, book projects. When they're ready to launch them, and they want to be able to create viral visibility, and they want to be able to sell it out. And so we do that with cash generating content strategies. So social media, content development, strategy, how to launch, when to launch, and being able to really put the pieces together. Because a lot of times what happens is that we have this awesome project, right? We start this coaching program and then we're like, whoo, I'm about to launch it. And then you throw it out there and then recognize nobody signed up for your webinar. Nobody signed up for your challenge. Nobody signed up for your master classes. And so there's a framework that I have that really walks people through how to launch and create visibility so that when you launch your new course or when you launch your project, it actually sells out. It's not just crickets.
Which is needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so just to feed off of that, just a little bit. So, for someone that I know, like we're constantly getting ready to launch something. So, like, do you help with like the actual like launch? Like, if they have like a server, like coaching program or something, do you actually like help them format that, or just strictly the social media portion? Because sometimes people wanting all the extraness, like I need help organizing this part of my launch or this that. Do you help with that also, or only strictly like the social media portion and how to promote themselves?
No,
On
that's
their
a
own?
really good question. Really good question. So what tends to work well when a client comes to me and they have an offer. They may not have like flushed it out completely, but they
Yeah.
know what their expertise is. They have an offer. They're pretty sure who their ideal client is, or who is marketed towards. And then there, some things, brainstorming sessions that we can help prep them to launch. But for the most part, they come to me, they already know their expertise. So somebody that would not be a good fit for that is not launch ready is somebody that comes to me and they're like, oh, I have a corporate background in accounting and finance, but everybody tell me I should be a life coach. So like, what should I do? Like, if you don't know what your area expertise is, like you don't necessarily want to jump in and pay and hire a social media team, because we're not here to help you brainstorm what your expertise is. We're help you get your visibility on your expertise and what your offer is.
Ooh, okay. Sometimes that comes into question. So I'm going to kind of lean into the mansion part now because we can't skip over that because that was an introduction. So tell us a little bit about the mansion retreat.
Yeah, so my mansion retreat program was birthed out of my what I saw was my client's need. What I used to offer and still do in some cases, like monthly done for you full service packages. And what happens when a firm would hire me, an entrepreneur would hire me for their monthly services, for my monthly services rather, is like we have, it's a partnership. I got to know what's going on in your business, so I know what to promote. I got to know, what your ideal client is. I need to know what services. I need to know what you're planning on launching, right? And a lot of times, bosses, we're busy, and we're busy, and so I'm like, hey, what you got going on? Crickets. Hey, I need some photos of that event that you were just speaking at. Crickets. And so what happens is that it hurts the relationship, right? Because I'm waiting for information. I'm like trying to pull it out of you. You're trying to just live your best life and run your business. So I was like, you know what, this concept is perfect for women that are super busy, although most women are super busy, but at their
Yeah,
super
yeah,
busy
I know what you mean.
level in their business, when they recognize that they've been letting their social media kind of slip through the cracks, but also recognize that they've been missing out on business opportunities, because that's really where it boils down to, right? We're on social media because we want to be visible and we want to make money in our business. And so the Mansion Retreat is a 6-week accelerated program. We get crystal clear on your ideal client, super duper clear on what you have and what you plan on offering over the next 6 months. We craft a social media voice for you, and then we meet in a mansion, and you walk away with a fully stock, like, branded photo shoot, lifestyle videos, commercials, reels we're adding in this time around, like your captions. And then when you walk away, you have 6 months of content in less than 6 days. And it literally is transformed the way my clients, you kind of view and approach social media, because it takes one less, it's like a breath of fresh air, is one less thing to
Yeah.
worry about.
Okay. So I know no access at the end, but how often do you have this retreat or the program?
Yeah, so in this year, it would have been two. So I had hosted one in January, and then my next one will be in September. It's sold out, but if people are interested, then they can, get on the wait list for the next coming one.
Okay, that's awesome. So of course I had to say that in there. So my next thing, I completely lost it, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. So since you have like you do all this stuff for social media, because I know for myself, and I know I'm not alone in this, like social media is very overwhelming. And
Mm-hmm.
actually like you're chasing people, like you're helping people promote themselves, get visibility. What do you do to implement like self-care or I call laziness or outsource, or what kind of boundaries do you set in place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Most of my or a couple things. Most of my laziness comes in, excuse me, one, in business. I make sure that I'm not doing everything myself. It's really easy for us to get in the mindset that I'm the only one. I'm a solopreneur. I built this business on my back type thing or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as a result, it clogs up, it gets us bottleneck, and it burns us out. So I have this year just really been intentional about delegating out to my team members, even if it's that time investment up front, but just really being clear on what
Mhm.
I can delegate and what I should be doing and what I should not be doing. And then in my like family life, like I have a house cleaner that comes in, once a month, because like that just
Yep.
is well worth spent to me. I don't cook every night of the week. Like sometimes I order takeout, or I'll even order DoorDash and have it delivered, or groceries delivered. So there's some
Yep.
things that I do from a personal standpoint that help save me time that I can be using for other stuff. And then I make sure that I don't even, it's really hard not to be on social media all the time, especially as a social media strategist, but social media can wear you out. So I
Yeah.
try to make sure that I'm on it for fun, I'm on it for work, but then I also take breaks, so that I'm not like literally living on my phone.
I got you. Okay, that was awesome. So now my question finally came back. What what tip would you give to somebody that is like overwhelmed? Because I see this all the time. Like on my post, I scroll like every fifth post almost. It's like I am done with social media. I want to be off. I can't wait to disappear. I say that to somebody that is like overwhelmed, but they have to promote. Like what things would you tell them maybe to post, or like what resource would you point them to of yours? Because I know you got a bunch.
Yeah, so the biggest thing in a lazy approach is to repurpose your content, right? So that definitely helps you from like that overwhelming feeling that you have to create fresh content, new content, for 3, 4 different platforms. Like that's exhausting. So, this, if you go live on Facebook, okay, now you have a 15-minute, 20-minute live. You can turn that into, a couple sound bites that can be posted as a, reel or a TikTok. You can repurpose it and put it on your YouTube, transcribe it and take some quotes from it, and now it becomes some content that you can leverage. So that's really my lazy approach, is repurpose the content. I think sometimes we think, oh, she heard me say that before, or
Mhm.
I posted that on Instagram last week. Everybody doesn't see everything that we post, and if they
Right.
do see it again, it helps reinforce the message. So that's my lazy approach to social media, is get used to repurposing your content, so that you can show up consistently and not be overwhelmed.
Ooh, that is a good tip. Okay, so I know I just this is the last thing for the last thing about this. So like video, because video is taking over social
Yes.
media. Like for those that don't like being on video, what is something, this is the last tip, what is something they could possibly do so that way they are still showing up and at least getting into like whatever algorithm is going on?
Right. All right. So for my video, the people that's scared of being on video, this is something that it does take some getting used to, but I think we are more critical of ourselves than other people are of us on video, right? So one
Mhm.
way that I get off of that completely is I watch my own videos. Once you hear your voice a couple times, you see yourself, you're like you get over yourself,
Yeah.
right? So that's one way. And then two, you can video not just you. You can video your work process. You can screen record. You can video you typing at your desk. You can have somebody hold the phone for you. You're walking down the street. So get used to at least just being confident on video. Not necessarily that you got to lip sync and dance and be all dramatic. Because me and Adriana, we'll have some jokes kind of here and there, but not everybody wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
So just kind of getting comfortable with documenting your process and videoing yourself, whether it's moving around on vacation, some stuff that you would normally do, but then just add some quotes to it, and now it turns into some video content.
Okay, thank you for sharing those tips. So I hope you guys are watching the replay live. You're taking these, writing these down, and implementing it. That's a big thing.
Yes.
So next thing I want, well, not last thing, but what do you have going on next, and where can we find you in these social media streets?
Yeah, I'm everywhere on the social media streets as Chanel Evans. I do find that sometimes people are like you said, we get overwhelmed. There's so many strategies. You don't know which one to start with. You don't know which one is yours. So I created a really simple, straightforward 2-minute quiz. It gives you your path to start with. It's at socialmediasalesquiz.com. It literally takes you 2 minutes. You'll answer a couple, really fun questions, and then you know what your path is to start to create visibility and cash in your business.
I say, look below. Y'all see the thing scrolling. Go ahead and go to it. And it's clickable. All right. All right. And I guess I kind of already asked you about the mansion, but do you have anything else we should know about? Anything else we should know about coming up this year or even next year?
Yeah, so the mansion is definitely a big one, but I also have a VIP community. So for women that are overwhelmed or just recognize, what, like I need a couple of nudges along the way. I need, some prompts. I need some guidance. My VIP community is perfect for that. It's a hybrid between like one-on-one strategy as well as like group setting, but also like almost like done with you, like templates and resources. So my VIP community is definitely one that people can reach out to me about.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm in there. So like Chanel is amazing. Like if you guys are not in there, like it helps so much. So like I'm thankful that you have that community because people like me, I don't think about. Well, I guess I do, but I need actionists. But anywho, so you guys, you had someone asking for what the link is. I'll make sure I post in the comments, or Chanel, you can go behind me. Whoever gets to it first, we'll make sure to post
Okay.
it in the comments. So you can have the link so you can join us. But thank you so much, Chanel, for coming on here. That's all I got for you today. I feel like I was drilling you a couple times with them social media tips, but
it was the mansion. It was the mansion. That's the part that you start with.
I had to. I was like, oh, the mansion. Everyone wants to know about that, so I had to make sure I get that out. But yeah. So thank you for coming on here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of My Lazy Journey. I will be back again next Tuesday, rambling on, messing up all over my words yet again. But y'all get the message across.
Right. It's all
so I'll see y'all next Tuesday, and I'll make sure I put all the links in.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.